Dare to Believe. How to Master Self-Confidence and Take Bold Action. Written by Ronnie Rowland. Published by Growth Literacy Lounge. What if the only thing standing between you and the life you want is your willingness to believe in yourself before you have proof? Most people think confidence is something you're either born with or something that magically appears once you've achieved success. But that's backward. Confidence isn't the reward, it's the starting point. You don't wait until you feel ready. You act first, confidence follows. Think about the people you admire, the ones who seem to move through life with boldness and certainty. They weren't handed confidence, they built it. They started before they had all the answers. They took action before they felt fully prepared. They dared to believe in themselves when no one else did. And because they believed, they kept moving forward. The worst thing you can do is wait. Wait until you feel ready. Wait until you have more experience. Wait for some perfect moment that never comes. Confidence isn't built by waiting, it's built by doing. The only way to escape hesitation and self-doubt is to move before you feel prepared. Every action, no matter how small, sends a message to your brain: I can handle this. The more you act, the more you trust yourself. The more you trust yourself, the more unstoppable you become. This book is your guide to mastering self-confidence, not by faking it, not by wishing for it, but by building it through action. You'll learn how to rewrite your inner narrative, stack small wins, embrace rejection, and develop the habits that make bold action second nature. You will stop identifying with self-doubt and start seeing yourself as someone who moves forward, no matter what. Confidence isn't about having guarantees. It's about trusting yourself enough to take the next step. You don't need permission. You don't need to be fearless. You just need to decide that you are ready now, not someday. The belief comes first. The proof appears later. Dare to believe. Then do it anyway. Chapter 1. The Confidence Action Loop. Confidence is not the absence of fear. It is the willingness to move forward despite it. Most people believe they need to feel confident before they take action, but that belief is exactly what keeps them stuck. They wait for certainty, for assurance, for the moment they feel ready. That moment never comes. The truth is, confidence doesn't come before action, it is a result of action. Think about the first time you tried anything new. The first time you spoke in front of a group, the first time you tried a sport, the first time you made a big decision on your own. You probably didn't feel confident. You may have hesitated, overthought it, or even avoided it altogether. But if you pushed through and did it anyway, something happened. The next time it felt a little easier. The next time after that, even easier. That is the confidence action loop in motion. Action fuels confidence. Confidence fuels more action. The more you do something, the more capable you feel. The more capable you feel, the more likely you are to take the next step. Successful people understand this. They do not wait for confidence to appear before taking action. They know that confidence is built through repetition, through trial and error, through proving to themselves over and over again that they can handle discomfort and uncertainty. When you step into action without confidence, you send a message to your brain: I trust myself enough to figure this out. That trust compounds, creating the foundation of self-belief that allows you to tackle bigger and bigger challenges. This is why confidence is not something you either have or don't have, it is something you build. If you have ever told yourself, I'm just not a confident person, you've been reinforcing a false identity. Confidence is not a fixed trait. It is a muscle, and like any muscle, it grows with use. The more you push yourself to act, the stronger it gets. The people you admire for their confidence were not born that way. They earned it by stepping into discomfort again and again until it became their new normal. Most people wait until they feel ready. They hesitate, overanalyze, and let fear talk them out of it. Fear says, what if you fail? What if you embarrass yourself? What if you're not good enough? The reality is, fear will always be there. Confidence is not about eliminating fear, it is about learning to act despite it. The difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck is simple. Successful people take the leap even when they don't feel ready. Think of the confidence action loop as a staircase. Each step you take builds momentum. Every small action you take toward a goal, no matter how insignificant it seems, reinforces your self-trust. The first step might be terrifying, but the second step is slightly easier. The third step easier still. Over time, what once felt impossible becomes second nature. This is why the only way to build confidence is to start before you feel ready. Take action before you have all the answers. Speak up even if your voice shakes. Apply for the job even if you don't meet every qualification. Start the project even if you're not sure how it will turn out. The more you do, the more you prove to yourself that you are capable. Confidence is not a magic switch you turn on, it is a byproduct of experience. Every time you take a step forward, no matter how small, you are reinforcing a new belief. I am someone who takes action. That belief is what transforms people from hesitant to unstoppable. Right now, there is something you have been avoiding because you don't feel confident enough. Maybe it's a conversation, a new opportunity, a risk you've been hesitating to take. Stop waiting for confidence. Take action first. Your confidence will catch up. Chapter 2. Rewriting your inner narrative. The way you talk to yourself shapes the way you see yourself. Most people don't realize it, but confidence isn't just about what you do, it starts with what you believe. And what you believe is driven by the story you tell yourself every day. If your inner dialogue is full of doubt, hesitation, and self-criticism, it's no surprise that confidence feels out of reach. But if you start changing that story, everything else begins to shift. Many people unknowingly trap themselves in an identity of self-doubt. They say things like, "I've never been confident," or "I'm just not that kind of person." These statements aren't facts, they're habits of thought. The brain is constantly reinforcing the identity you feed it. If you tell yourself that you lack confidence, your brain looks for evidence to support that belief. Every hesitation, every awkward moment, every time you don't speak up becomes proof that you are exactly who you believe yourself to be. But what if you started telling yourself a different story? Confidence isn't a fixed trait, it's a learned identity. Instead of saying, "I'm not confident," say, "I am becoming more confident every day." Instead of, "I'm not good at speaking up," say, "I am learning to express myself." This small shift may seem insignificant, but over time it rewires your brain. Your words shape your thoughts shape your actions, and your actions shape your reality. Think about a time when you accomplished something you once doubted you could do. Maybe it was learning a skill, landing a job, or pushing through a challenge that once felt impossible. At some point, your belief in yourself had to shift, even if just a little, for you to take the action that led to success. You didn't wait until you were 100% certain, you acted before you had proof. That's exactly how confidence is built. You tell yourself a new story, you take action, and your brain starts to believe it. The way you speak to yourself matters. Negative self-talk doesn't just feel bad, it programs your mind to expect failure. Thoughts like "I always mess things up" or "no one takes me seriously" become self-fulfilling prophecies. You begin to act in ways that reinforce those beliefs. But when you shift the narrative even slightly, you create a new possibility. Instead of "I always mess things up," say, "I'm learning from my mistakes and getting better every day." Instead of "no one takes me seriously," say, "I am growing into someone who commands respect." The more you repeat it, the more your brain accepts it as truth. Most people underestimate the power of language. Words are not just descriptions, they are commands to the subconscious mind. When you say, "I'm terrible at this," your brain hears a statement of fact and stops looking for improvement. But when you say, "I'm working on this," your brain starts finding ways to make that statement true. What you say to yourself is a choice, and that choice shapes your reality. There is one simple rule: if you wouldn't say it to your best friend, don't say it to yourself. You wouldn't tell your friend, "You'll never succeed," so why say it to yourself? Confidence grows when you become your own biggest supporter, not your biggest critic. Every confident person you admire once had doubts. The difference is, they learned to rewrite their inner dialogue. They chose to believe in themselves before they had proof. They replaced negative self-talk with empowering self-talk. They created a new identity, one where confidence wasn't something they lacked, but something they built. Right now, you have a choice. You can continue repeating the same limiting beliefs that have held you back, or you can decide, in this moment, to change the story. Tell yourself a new truth. I am capable. I am learning. I am becoming the person I need to be. Say it, repeat it, act on it. The evidence will follow. Chapter 3. Small wins, big confidence. Confidence isn't built in a single breakthrough moment. It doesn't happen all at once, and it doesn't come from one massive success. Confidence is the result of small, consistent wins that compound over time. Every small victory is a deposit into your self-belief. The problem is, most people overlook these wins because they're too busy waiting for a big, life-changing event to feel confident. But that's not how it works. Think about any skill you've ever learned. Whether it was riding a bike, learning to drive, or mastering a new task at work, you didn't become good overnight. You started clumsy, awkward, and unsure of yourself. But with repetition, small improvements added up. Eventually, what once felt difficult became second nature. The same process applies to confidence. It's not something you wake up with one day, it's something you earn through action. The mistake most people make is believing that confidence comes from a huge accomplishment. They think, once I land the big job, once I hit my goal weight, once I achieve success, then I'll feel confident. But confidence isn't waiting for you at the finish line. It's built in the process. The person who lands the big job is the one who took small risks along the way, speaking up in meetings, asking for more responsibility, pushing beyond their comfort zone. The person who finally feels fit and strong is the one who took small daily actions, choosing a workout, making a better food choice, showing up even when they didn't feel like it. The real transformation happens in the small moments, not the big ones. Your brain thrives on momentum. When you achieve a small win, no matter how insignificant it may seem, your brain registers it as progress. That progress fuels motivation, and motivation leads to more action. This is why the smallest confidence-building actions, maintaining eye contact, standing up straighter, speaking up when you'd normally stay quiet, can have an exponential effect over time. Every time you prove to yourself that you are capable, you reinforce a new identity. I am someone who takes action. That identity shift is what creates real, lasting confidence. It's easy to dismiss small wins as meaningless, but they are the foundation of everything. If you wait until you feel ready to take a big leap, you'll be waiting forever. Instead, take the smallest step you can. Speak up in a conversation. Set a tiny goal and accomplish it. Show up for yourself in a way that you normally wouldn't. Each time you do, you send a message to your brain. I follow through. I keep my word. I can trust myself. That trust compounds into unshakable self-belief. Repetition is everything. The first time you do something new, it feels uncomfortable. The second time, slightly less so. By the 10th or 20th time, it becomes familiar. The only way to make confidence second nature is to practice it, one small step at a time. There is no shortcut. You don't build confidence by waiting, you build it by doing. The difference between those who stay stuck and those who thrive isn't talent or luck. It's the willingness to accumulate small wins. The people who seem effortlessly confident aren't different from you. They simply took action, over and over again, until confidence became a habit. You can do the same. The question is, what small win can you achieve today? It doesn't have to be big. It just has to be something that stretches you slightly beyond where you were yesterday. Send the email, start the conversation, take the first step. No one ever built confidence overnight, but every confident person started the same way, one small win at a time. Chapter 4. Embracing rejection as proof of courage. Rejection feels personal, but it isn't. It's not a reflection of your worth or potential, it's simply proof that you're in the game. The people who accomplish the most in life aren't the ones who avoid rejection, they are the ones who have learned to embrace it. They understand that rejection isn't failure, it's progress. Every rejection is a sign that you took a risk, stepped outside your comfort zone, and pushed beyond fear. And the more you experience it, the stronger and more confident you become. Most people see rejection as a stop sign. They take it as evidence that they're not good enough, smart enough, or worthy enough. But the truth is, rejection is just redirection. It's a signal that you're putting yourself out there, testing your limits, and moving forward. No one who has ever done anything great has avoided rejection. J.K. Rowling was rejected by 12 publishers before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon. Walt Disney was fired for lacking imagination. Oprah Winfrey was told she wasn't fit for television. If they had let rejection define them, their success stories would never have existed. Rejection only stings when you attach your self-worth to the outcome. When you see rejection as a judgment of your value, it feels devastating. But when you reframe it as part of the process, it becomes a badge of honor. Every rejection is proof that you are taking action. It means you're playing at a higher level, pushing past hesitation, and refusing to let fear dictate your life. The alternative is staying comfortable, never trying, and never knowing what could have been. Fear of rejection holds people back more than failure itself. Many never apply for the dream job, start the business, or make the move they desire, because they're afraid of hearing no. They'd rather avoid rejection than take a shot at success. But what they don't realize is that rejection isn't the thing stopping them, it's their interpretation of it. The moment you stop fearing rejection is the moment you set yourself free. You don't build confidence by avoiding rejection, you build it by surviving it. Every time you face rejection and keep going, you prove to yourself that it doesn't break you. You realize that rejection isn't fatal, that you can handle it, and that you are more resilient than you thought. Over time, rejection loses its power over you. It becomes a natural, expected part of progress, and the more you experience it, the less it scares you. The best way to build resilience to rejection is to seek it out. Make it a goal to get rejected. Send the email, make the pitch, ask for what you want. The worst that can happen is you hear no, but every no gets you closer to a yes. If you aren't getting rejected, you're not taking big enough risks. Playing it safe might protect you from rejection, but it also guarantees that you stay exactly where you are. Rejection isn't a wall, it's a door. It's not the end, it's just another step forward. The people who succeed aren't the ones who never get rejected. They are the ones who refuse to let rejection stop them. If you want to build confidence, don't avoid rejection. Collect it, celebrate it. See it as proof that you are daring to go after what you want. The more you embrace it, the stronger you become. The question is, will you let rejection define you, or will you let it empower you? The choice is yours. Chapter 5. The Science of Visualization and Mental Rehearsal. Your brain doesn't know the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. This is why visualization is one of the most powerful tools for building confidence. When you repeatedly see yourself succeeding in your mind, your brain starts to believe it, and that belief turns into action. Athletes, performers, and high achievers have been using this technique for decades to sharpen their skills, overcome fear, and prepare for high-pressure situations. The same strategy can be used to build unshakable confidence in any area of your life. Most people let their imagination work against them. They picture themselves failing, embarrassing themselves, or falling short. These mental rehearsals reinforce fear and hesitation. When you visualize negative outcomes, your brain treats them as real experiences, strengthening self-doubt and hesitation. But when you intentionally visualize success, you create a new mental blueprint, one that makes confidence feel familiar and natural. The key to effective visualization is not just seeing success but feeling it. It's not enough to passively imagine yourself succeeding, you must engage all your senses. Picture yourself walking into the room with confidence, hear the strength in your voice, feel the excitement in your body. The more vividly you experience the success in your mind, the more your brain accepts it as reality, and once your brain believes it, your body follows. Mental rehearsal works because it primes your nervous system for action. When you visualize yourself handling a situation with confidence, your brain strengthens the same neural pathways you would use if you were actually doing it. This is why athletes who mentally practice their movements improve their performance, even without physical training. The same principle applies to public speaking, job interviews, social interactions, or any situation where confidence is required. The more you practice in your mind, the more natural it becomes in reality. Confidence isn't just about what you think, it's about what your brain expects. If you repeatedly imagine yourself failing, your brain will expect failure. If you repeatedly imagine yourself succeeding, your brain will expect success. The more you feed your mind empowering images, the more they become your default response. Over time, visualization shifts your self-perception. You stop seeing yourself as someone who hesitates and start seeing yourself as someone who takes bold action. One of the most effective ways to use visualization is to combine it with real-world action. Imagine yourself succeeding, then take a small step toward that vision. If you're nervous about a presentation, visualize yourself speaking with confidence, then practice out loud. If you're hesitant about approaching someone, picture yourself doing it effortlessly, then take the first step. This combination of mental and physical practice creates a powerful reinforcement loop, strengthening your confidence with each repetition. Doubt and fear thrive in uncertainty. When you mentally rehearse success, you create a sense of familiarity with the experience. Your brain stops seeing it as something unknown and starts seeing it as something expected. This reduces anxiety and makes stepping into bold action feel more natural. The more you see it, the more you believe it. The more you believe it, the more you do it. The more you do it. Your mind is your most powerful tool, but only if you use it intentionally. Confidence isn't just about what you do, it's about what you see yourself doing. Start programming your brain to expect success. Visualize yourself winning before it happens. See yourself thriving in situations that once scared you. Train your mind to believe in you, and your actions will follow. Confidence is built first in the mind, then in reality. Chapter 6. Breaking the fear-confidence cycle. Fear and confidence are not opposites. Most people believe that once they feel confident, they will no longer feel fear. But that's not how it works. Fear never fully disappears, no matter how much experience or success you have. The difference between those who stay stuck and those who move forward is simple. Confident people take action despite fear, while others let fear make their decisions for them. Fear is a natural response to uncertainty. It exists to keep you safe, but in modern life, it often holds you back from what you truly want. It whispers reasons why you shouldn't try, why you'll fail, why you're not ready yet. If you listen to it, you reinforce the fear-confidence cycle, where fear leads to avoidance, avoidance leads to inaction, and inaction leads to even more fear. The longer you stay in this cycle, the harder it becomes to break free. The only way to weaken fear's grip is to prove to yourself that you can handle what it's trying to protect you from. Fear loses power when you move toward it instead of running away. When you take action despite feeling afraid, you rewire your brain. You teach yourself that discomfort isn't a danger signal, it's a growth signal. Each time you push through, your brain registers a new experience. I did it, and I survived. That experience builds confidence, and confidence makes fear feel smaller the next time. Most people wait for fear to go away before they take action, but waiting only strengthens the fear. Confidence doesn't come from avoiding what scares you, it comes from stepping into it. The fastest way to build confidence is to take action before you feel ready. Do the thing that scares you, even if your voice shakes, even if your hands tremble. The moment you do, you break the cycle. Fear is deceptive. It often disguises itself as logic. It will tell you to wait until you're more prepared, more qualified, more certain. But fear's goal isn't to make sure you succeed, it's to keep you from trying at all. It convinces you that hesitation is wisdom when in reality, hesitation is just disguised self-doubt. The truth is, action creates clarity. You don't need all the answers before you start. You need to start, and the answers will come. Fear also thrives in exaggeration. It makes things seem bigger and scarier than they actually are. But once you take action, reality almost always turns out to be less intimidating than your imagination made it seem. Think about moments when you feared the worst, conversations you dreaded, opportunities you almost backed out of. In most cases, the reality wasn't nearly as bad as your mind had predicted. Your brain's job is to protect you, but sometimes it protects you from things that don't require protection at all. Breaking the fear-confidence cycle doesn't mean eliminating fear. It means learning to act, even when fear is present. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the decision that something else, your growth, your dreams, your potential, is more important than fear. Every time you take action despite fear, you weaken its control over you. Every time you hesitate and let fear decide for you, you reinforce the cycle. The choice is yours. The next time fear tries to hold you back, take one small step forward instead of retreating. If speaking up scares you, say something small. If taking a risk feels overwhelming, start with a tiny move in that direction. The more you do, the more you'll realize that fear isn't the enemy, it's just a barrier you've been conditioned to obey. Confidence isn't about never feeling afraid. It's about deciding that fear doesn't get to make your choices for you. Chapter 7. The Power of Body Language and Physiology. Confidence isn't just in your mind, it's in your body. The way you carry yourself, move, and use your voice all send signals to your brain and to those around you. Your posture, facial expressions, and gestures don't just reflect how you feel, they shape how you feel. When you adjust your body language, you don't just appear more confident, you become more confident. Most people assume that confidence starts with thoughts, but research shows it can start with movement. Studies on body language reveal that certain poses and stances trigger physiological changes that boost confidence and reduce stress. Standing tall with your shoulders back, taking up space, and using open gestures send a message to your brain. I am in control. This isn't just a psychological trick, it's biology. Your body and brain are in constant communication, and when you shift your posture, your brain follows. Think about how you naturally stand when you feel unsure. You might hunch your shoulders, look down, or shrink yourself to take up less space. This posture reinforces hesitation and insecurity. But when you straighten your back, keep your chin up, and move with purpose, your brain registers a different message. You feel more in command, more capable, more prepared. The simple act of standing tall can change how you approach a challenge. Your voice is another tool for confidence. People who lack confidence often speak softly, rush their words, or use a questioning tone instead of a strong statement. This isn't just a habit, it's a reflection of how they see themselves. But when you speak with clarity and control, when you slow down and project your voice, you signal confidence not only to others but to yourself. Your voice influences your mindset as much as your words do. Eye contact is another small yet powerful shift. Many people look away too quickly, avoiding eye contact out of discomfort. But maintaining steady eye contact shows certainty and presence. It makes you appear more confident, more trustworthy, and more engaged. More importantly, it makes you feel that way. When you hold eye contact instead of looking away, you train your mind to stay present in situations that once felt intimidating. Physical movement also plays a major role in confidence. Exercise, even a few minutes of movement, changes your brain chemistry. It releases endorphins, reduces stress, and increases feelings of control. If you've ever noticed how much sharper and more energized you feel after physical activity, that's no coincidence. Moving your body creates momentum, not just physically but mentally. This is why some of the most successful people in the world make movement a daily priority. The way you carry yourself is a choice. If you want to build confidence, start with small adjustments. Walk into a room as if you belong there. Stand tall, even when you don't feel like it. Hold eye contact a second longer than usual. Speak with clarity instead of rushing your words. Every small shift adds up. You are constantly reinforcing habits, either habits of confidence or habits of hesitation. The more you choose confidence, the more natural it becomes. Confidence is not just a mental game, it's a full-body experience. The way you move, stand, and speak creates a feedback loop with your brain. When you carry yourself like someone who is confident, your brain believes you. And when your brain believes you, you act accordingly. Small shifts in your body language can create a massive shift in how you feel, and that shift can change everything. Chapter 8. Surrounding yourself with confidence builders. Confidence is contagious. The people you spend time with have a direct impact on how you see yourself and what you believe is possible. If you surround yourself with those who uplift, challenge, and encourage you, confidence becomes natural. But if you spend time with people who doubt, criticize, or play small, their mindset will influence yours. Who you allow into your space matters more than you think. Everyone has experienced the energy shift that comes from being around different types of people. Some leave you feeling inspired, energized, and ready to take action. Others drain your motivation, fill you with doubt, and make you second-guess yourself. If confidence is a skill that grows through repeated action, the people in your life either reinforce that growth or hold it back. The right environment makes confidence easier to build, the wrong one makes it harder. The 5-person rule states that you become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. This isn't just about finances, success, or career, it's about mindset. If your closest circle consists of people who take bold action, believe in themselves, and encourage growth, you will naturally adopt those traits. But if you're surrounded by people who hesitate, complain, or live in fear, their mindset will influence yours. Take a moment to evaluate your circle. Who in your life challenges you to be better? Who believes in you, even when you don't fully believe in yourself? Who makes you feel more confident, capable, and unstoppable? Now ask yourself the opposite. Who makes you doubt yourself? Who keeps you stuck in old patterns? Who drains your energy and reinforces hesitation instead of growth? Confidence builders aren't just people who compliment you. They are people who push you forward. They hold you accountable to your potential. They challenge your excuses, remind you of your strengths, and encourage you to take the leap instead of waiting for the perfect moment. They don't just tell you what you want to hear, they tell you what you need to hear. If your current environment isn't supporting your growth, you have the power to change it. You don't have to cut people out of your life completely, but you do need to be intentional about who you allow to influence you. Spend more time with those who challenge and inspire you. Seek out people who are already living with the confidence you want to develop. Join groups, follow mentors, connect with individuals who embody the mindset you are building. Confidence also grows through exposure. The more time you spend around confident people, the more their habits, beliefs, and actions will naturally influence you. Just like language, confidence is absorbed through repetition and proximity. The way people speak, the risks they take, the way they approach challenges, it all becomes part of your subconscious programming. The key to growth is not just surrounding yourself with confidence builders but also becoming one. When you uplift others, encourage their boldness, and reinforce their strengths, you strengthen your own confidence in the process. Confidence isn't just something you receive, it's something you give. When you push others to believe in themselves, you reinforce that belief in yourself. Your environment is shaping you every day. If you want to build confidence, make sure you're in a space that supports it. Choose people who expand your thinking, challenge your doubts, and push you toward action. The more you surround yourself with those who embody confidence, the more it will become second nature to you. Chapter 9. Developing the habit of bold action. Confidence is not something you wait for. It is something you build, and the fastest way to build it is by making bold action a habit. Most people hesitate, overanalyze, and talk themselves out of taking action because they think they need more confidence first. But confidence is the result of action, not the prerequisite. The more often you take action, especially when you don't feel ready, the faster confidence grows. Hesitation is the enemy of confidence. The longer you wait to take action, the more reasons your brain will find to talk you out of it. Fear grows in the space between intention and execution. The moment you decide to do something bold, take the first step immediately. Even if it's small, action disrupts doubt. It shifts you from thinking to doing, from hesitation to movement. When you make action your default, hesitation loses its power over you. Bold action doesn't have to be extreme. It doesn't mean making reckless decisions or taking unnecessary risks. It means consistently choosing growth over comfort. It means speaking up when you would normally stay silent, saying yes to opportunities before you feel ready, and taking the first step even when the path isn't clear. It means moving forward despite uncertainty. The more you do it, the more natural it becomes. Every time you take bold action, you strengthen a new identity. I am someone who moves forward. The more you reinforce this identity, the easier it becomes to act without overthinking. Boldness stops feeling like something you have to force and starts feeling like who you are. The key is repetition. One bold action is not enough to shift your self-perception. Confidence is built through consistency. The more you do, the more proof you create for yourself. People who are seen as naturally confident are not fearless. They are simply used to taking action before they feel ready. They understand that hesitation creates more fear, while action creates clarity. They don't waste time waiting for the perfect moment. They make the moment perfect by acting in the now. They understand that most of the things they once feared turned out to be smaller than their mind made them seem. Making bold action a habit starts with small steps. You don't have to start with life-changing moves. Confidence is built in increments. Say yes to something you would normally decline. Speak up in a conversation where you'd usually stay quiet. Take a risk that feels slightly uncomfortable. Each time you do, you send a message to your brain that you are capable. And capability breeds confidence. Bold action is not just about external success. It's about proving to yourself that you are in control of your life. The more you practice, the more you shift from a passive observer to an active creator. You stop waiting for opportunities and start making them. You stop fearing failure and start seeing every action as a step forward. This is what separates those who stay stuck from those who thrive. There will always be reasons to wait. There will always be a voice telling you that you're not ready yet. That voice is lying. The only way to prove it wrong is to take action anyway. Make boldness a habit. Make action your default. Confidence will follow. Chapter 10. Dare to believe, then do it anyway. Confidence is not about never feeling doubt. It's about choosing to move forward despite it. The difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck is not talent, intelligence, or luck. It's the willingness to act before they feel ready. They dare to believe in themselves first, and they prove themselves right over time. Most people wait for external validation before they allow themselves to believe they are capable. They think they need permission, proof, or a guarantee before they take action. But the truth is, no one is going to hand you confidence. You have to claim it. The moment you decide that you are worthy of success, that you are capable, that you belong in the spaces you dream of being in, that is the moment everything changes. Belief comes first, action follows. Evidence appears later. This is how the confidence action loop works. If you wait for confidence to magically show up before you take action, you will never move. Confidence is built through experience, and experience only comes when you take the first step. You don't need to know exactly how things will turn out. You just need to begin. Daring to believe in yourself does not mean you will never fail. It means you trust yourself to figure it out if you do. It means you stop seeing failure as a reason to quit and start seeing it as part of the process. Every rejection, mistake, and setback is proof that you are in the game, pushing forward, and learning what works. The only real failure is never trying at all. Most people don't lack potential, they lack belief. They think confidence is reserved for those who already have success, but success is reserved for those who are willing to step forward without guarantees. The people you admire, the ones who seem fearless, weren't born with an unshakable belief in themselves. They built it. They faced rejection, overcame self-doubt, and took action when they didn't feel ready. The greatest leap you can take is deciding that you are capable before you have proof. This is the mindset shift that changes everything. The world will not always validate you right away. The opportunities you want will not always be handed to you. But when you believe in yourself first, you stop waiting for permission. You stop playing small. You take the actions that align with the future you want. And those actions create the evidence you need to reinforce your belief. Daring to believe means silencing the voice that tells you to wait. It means refusing to let fear dictate your choices. It means showing up for yourself, even when no one is watching. When you take the leap, when you trust yourself enough to act, you set a new standard for your life. You stop waiting for the perfect moment and start making the moment perfect by stepping into it. There will never be a time when you feel completely ready. There will never be a moment when fear disappears. The secret to confidence is not eliminating doubt, it's taking action despite it. The people who build unshakable self-belief are the ones who stop asking, "Can I do this?" and start telling themselves, "I'm doing this." Right now you have a choice. You can wait, hesitate, and let doubt decide for you. Or you can dare to believe in yourself before the proof appears. The moment you decide that you are capable and act on that belief, you change everything. So don't wait. Take the step. Do it anyway. Take care and be well.